Now, Kakamega Governor Barasa, who is also the COG Chair of Finance Committee, is calling on Treasury to expedite disbursement of funds to counties. Let's cross over and talk to my colleague Alan Ochanda, who's in Kakamega. Alan, good afternoon. So what is the governor talking about there when it comes to finance disbursement?
Well, Fathia, yes, indeed. Remember that all the 47 governors are already substantively in office. They already took oath of office, and of course now all the committees are already formed and of course are constitutionally constituted. And so all the custodians of those committees are already now rooting and of course are just championing for all the interests pertaining their committees. And so the chair finance committee in that council of governors, of course the COG, that's the umbrella body of the governors, who is also the governor of Kakamega County, Barasa, really calling for the National Treasury to ensure they expedite the process of disbursing monies expected to be really allocated to the devolved units. And so here in Kakamega and of course the rest of the county, they are really saying that key functions are actually on the verge of collapse, being crippled. So let's just speak to the chair committee, finance committee in the COG, Barasa, also the governor for Kakamega County, Bwana Chair, and also the governor. Karibu sana KTN News Live at 1. Maybe just tell us, you also talked about the issue of late disbursement of funds to the county governments. How is it maybe crippling functions of the county governments?
First, I want to speak to two issues. The first one is about late disbursement of funds. As we speak right now, counties have only received up to September disbursements. And as you're all aware, we are now doing December. So there's an average delay of around 2 months, and you can be sure if governors don't have alternative sources of funding, especially the OSR, this is crippling our operations. So our ask to the National Treasury is to expedite disbursements to the counties, the equitable share, because this is provided for in the Constitution, and it should not be based on absorption, as earlier alluded by the IBEC. For us, we know that we have a responsibility to expedite absorption. So what we are asking for is let us have timely disbursement of funds in order to not cause delays in offering services to our people. The second issue I want to speak to is about the transfer of functions to counties. This is provided for under Article, that is Schedule 4 of the Constitution, where all the functions which were supposed to be devolved, some of them have not been devolved yet. We are talking about water, issues around roads, liberal services. So what we are asking for as governors is we need those functions to be costed so that when they are transferred, we also transfer the requisite resources in order for the operations of the counties not to be interfered with. We are aware about the ECD function, which was devolved, but there were no attendant resources that were devolved as well. The President has already spoken to this matter. I know he has given a commitment of ensuring that all the devolved functions as per Schedule 4 are devolved, and we also need attendant resources devolved as well. This is in compliance with the fiscal responsibility principles of the PFM Act. The last issue I want to commend the President is about the stand he's taken on the CBC for domiciling this program in primary schools. We know that we still have some teething problems, and I think the national conversation that should be continuous is how effective this program is implemented. But as leaders, we want to appreciate that stand of domiciling the CBC in primary schools. Lastly, I want to also appreciate the leaders from Western, led by Francis Atwoli, for the move they took to go and have a conversation with the president, who is Dr. William Ruto. I think that's the way to go, because as an international labor trade unionist, there's no way you can achieve your mandate without having a conversation with the national government. And even us as governors, it is provided for in the Constitution. In as much as we are distinct, interdependent, and have mutual collaboration with the national government. We shall continue collaborating with the national government. And I want to take this early opportunity to welcome the President, who will be visiting Kakamega on the 8th and 9th of this month, so that he can also have an opportunity of having a conversation with the leaders and the people of Kakamega at large.
Nice.
Thank you.
Maybe so briefly, Governor, you talked about late disbursement of funds to the counties, but you're the chair of finance committee in the COG, and also you now have that mutual relationship with the president and his deputy. His deputy, of course, is the chair of IBEC. How often do you maybe converse with him on matters disbursement of funds, and how fruitful it is?
I know we have scheduled IBEC meetings, which happen after every 6 months, but we cannot just wait for IBEC meetings. These are conversations which we at least have with the president almost on a monthly basis. And I know he has also given a commitment of meeting governors in due course. So I just want to assure you that we'll pursuantly of our mandate continue to have a conversation with the president so that you don't have to wait for the scheduled IBEC meetings. Yeah.
Thanks so much. Well, Governor Fernandez Barasa here, the chair of Finance Committee in the Council of Governors. Fathia, talking about an array of issues, including even maybe committing the president on domiciling, on ensuring that his task force on education committee really domiciles the CBC, of course, the junior secondary schools in primary and not as initially proposed in secondary schools. And so Fathia, from there, of course, just preparing these stories and others in our subsequent bulletins. Fathia.
Right, Alan Ochando, of course, there in Kakamega.